Hello everybody, my name is Stratnos, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at the winning set bonuses and transmogs. This post just came up on Wowhead with these. And I'll also link the posts with all of the set bonuses and all of the transmogs if you want to see there. This post only contains the ones that are currently winning the votes, and we can also see which votes are close versus which ones are pretty much foregone conclusions. And I guess we'll go through and talk about sort of my takes on which of these are, if any of these are mistakes or not that are being made right now. So first off with the Mog. The Mog, I think, in most cases, the best Mog is winning, which is, probably good. As somebody who's sort of, like, I personally would like it if the Mogs, mostly from Season 1, were winning, because those are the Mogs I don't have the most. I played the fewest alts that season, and also that season you couldn't upgrade and get multiple Mogs out of a single piece like you could in Seasons 2 and 3. And I guess the other way I would try and be gaming this is I would try and vote for the bad, I would vote for the seasons when a class was bad, because I was less likely to be playing it that season, right? So that I could pick up the Mog, right? So like DK Season 3 is winning, for instance, and I played DK this season, so, I personally wouldn't vote for this, but also I get it. I think it is the best looking one, so it makes some sense. But the set bonuses, on the other hand, I think largely this is good here. The Season 2 one is, I think, my favorite of the three. Season 1 is very boring. None of the three Blood ones really change the playstyle too much. The Season 3 set bonus is also quite good, but I liked the procs of Vamp Blood, so I think going back to Season 2, I'm reasonably happy with this. I think this is what I would have voted for, although I would be happy with either Season 2 or Season 3. Honestly, even Season 1, none of them are really that exciting, so there's not one that I'm sad to not get, if that makes sense. By the way, there's a video up on Max's YouTube channel where me and him and people from the whole community playing all these different specs went through each of these and talked about which ones we'd like to see on each of the specs. So if you're interested in a more in-depth discussion of all three bonuses from each spec, that is the place to go. In this one, we'll mostly just be taking a look and seeing which one's winning, and then is this good or bad? And if it's close, is there something that we should be, that I would like to see win instead? Of course, it's my opinion. You should continue to vote your opinions, but let's see what we've got here for Frost DK. So Frost DK in a landslide so far. We are having Season 2 winning, which makes sense. Season 3 has that weird chill streak thing going on, which inherently, I think anytime there's a multi-target button that is a set bonus is built around, like Chill Streak is, even though it adds single target functionality to Chill Streak, that sort of effect is weird enough that people will prefer not to go with that, right? Something that requires multiple targets to feel good. Whereas Season 2, I mean, obviously these abilities hit multiple targets, right? Frostworm's Fury, Howling Blast, but they also are more standard abilities rather than the weird Chill Streak bounce thing. So not surprised to see that winning here. Unholy DK Season 3 is winning with the Magus of the Dead stuff. Also, I would say, I don't know if I would call this one a landslide, but it's definitely winning by a sizable amount. I would expect this to win. It's not particularly close, so yeah, I don't have a very strong take on this. I've played very little Unholy this season. Demon Hunter, Season 3 Transmog is winning. Certainly the coolest Transmog. Again, Season 1 would be the Mog I need, but that's okay. That's all right. That's all good. I'll get over it. I'll farm it in a couple of years, I guess, or something. Havoc. Actually, maybe I'll farm the off pieces from Faded. Well, I don't know. I guess I already would have done that if I was gonna, back when it was current. Havoc set bonus is a huge landslide here. I'm not surprised by this. This is definitely a fun set bonus built around, again, this is a set bonus built around certain abilities like Throwglaive and the Hunt, but the Throwglaives are being free procced, and the Hunt is just such a fun button that I think that's the difference between this and Chill Streak themed or Dimensional Rift themed, Channel Demon Fire themed set bonuses. I think this one is themed around parts of the kit that are just a lot of fun, so I'm not surprised to see this winning. Vengeance, on the other hand, it's a little closer. We have a bit of a race going between Season 2, the Fiery Brand set, and Season 3, the Sigil set. Season 3 is winning. To some extent, this may be a reaction to strength as well. In some cases, there are specs where it seems like the season that the spec was strong is winning rather than like the set bonuses that are actually, because a spec being strong is based on a number of factors, right? And the set bonus is often tangential to that, right? Like it's not actually the cause, but people are in many cases voting for the season that the spec was best, which often but not always is correlated with the set bonus actually being good and fun. So in this case, in the case of Vengeance, I think this makes sense. Again, both of these set bonuses are really fun and interesting and different. I liked the Fiery Brand stuff quite a bit, but I think the Sigil playstyle is also cool. I don't know, the like overflow of souls is cool, but I've really liked the playstyle of like gaming around the Fiery Brands and having it active on like the whole pack and stuff like that. And that being said, I could see why that would be a little bit less popular than the new one. And also, again, people might just be voting for Season 3 because Vengeance is better there. So I'm fine with this one as well. Druid, we actually have a pretty close race on the Transmog. Again, I already have the Season 2 Transmogs for the most part, so I would hope Season 1 wins, but I do think the Season 2 one looks better, so I'm not surprised to see it winning the cool like foliage stuff going on there. Balance is actually Season 1 winning, which Season 1 has, I think, Season 1 Balance Druid was like the only spec that got a fun and interesting set bonus in Season 1, giving you free Star Surges and Starfalls. Now, they gutted this set bonus going into Season 2, largely to prevent people from keeping their Season 1 set bonuses equipped, which is an understandable thing to do. But they have said that they're going to balance whichever set bonuses wins to be the same power level of the like increased power level of Season 4, which hopefully means a reversion of the Season 1 set bonus, not just like buffing its numbers, but the functionality here of making the Star Searcher Starfall entirely free rather than just slightly cheaper, I think that's what everybody is expecting by voting for Season 1 here. So if that doesn't happen, this is going to end up being a bit of a tragedy. But I think this is the best vote. I think the Season 1 set bonus was actively good for balance. It was a really cool set bonus. It was fun to play, and I think it's a winner. So not surprised to see it doing well here. Feral Druid, on the other hand, we have Season 3 winning by quite a large amount. Everybody hated Season 2, and Season 1 is the protest vote against Season 3. If you're not a Feral Frenzy enjoyer, which I know there are some people who aren't, but I don't think it's that bad. I'm not surprised to see it doing pretty well. Also, Feral is doing pretty well in Raid this season, although people are remembering as well that Feral was good in Season 1, although that was less because of the set bonus and more about functionality of the spec that has since been changed as well. So, again, there may be some people voting here. They might be voting for the Season 1 set bonus, thinking they're voting for a return to Season 1 Feral, which was just like an old talent tree with a bunch of reworks that have since happened to Apex Predators, whatever that ability is called, that, is... I don't think that's on the table for getting reverted or re-examined or anything like that, so... again, I think not a bad vote here for Season 3. Guardian, huge landslide. This is the most lopsided one so far that I've seen. Not surprised either, because this was the only set bonus that really interacted with stuff like your effective health. And this is a cool set bonus because it provided you with sustain based on your incoming damage, and also with a large amount of effective health as well, which is very strong on a spec that has Frenzied Regeneration, which is healing you for effective health. And of course, if you have effects like this, right, like the combination of effective health and self-sustain, the more you have of one, the more valuable you have of the other. So a set bonus that's going to supply you with both is really potent. So that was part of the reason Guardian was good in Season 2, and I'm not surprised to see Guardians voting for this. Guardian has also gotten a lot of other changes since it was the God Comp tank, and I think the set bonus alone doesn't restore it to that position, but it'll definitely help compared to the very anemic Season 3 set bonus that doesn't... The Season 3 set bonus is one of those set bonuses that provides power after your cooldowns run out, which is just generally a lot worse for tanks than these sort of always-on set bonuses like these ones are. So, Resto Druid is up next. Here, Season 3 is winning. It's also not particularly close here. This is the new Grove Guardian stuff. A lot of power existed in this set bonus that I think is making people vote for it, and also a lot of the like flourish stuff wouldn't work with the flourish changes. So, or like, it's hard to imagine that set bonus playing well and the spec that uses it playing well. So, I'm not surprised to see the season 3 winning here as well. Evoker. So for Evoker, we have season 1 actually is winning the Mog vote. That's what well, that's sort of what we like to see. I actually played more Evoker in season 1 than I did in the other seasons, so this might be one of the rare cases where I get less Mog out of season 1 winning. I haven't gone through and looked which of the seasons I need the most Mog for from each spec, but if I had to guess, this is actually maybe one where I would be best served by not season 1 winning, but actually I think I have most of the season 2 Mog, so that's probably fine. I'll make sure I collect all the season 3 Mog then before it goes away. Either way, this is unassailably cool. I will say another thing about the Mogs, like these are the PvP Mogs, I think, over here on the right, and man, the PvP Elite Mogs all have looked a lot better this season than the Mythic Mogs, at least in my opinion, so that's... I kind of wish I could get access to those, but I don't care about it enough to actually go in PvP, of course. Speaking of PvP, by the way, a little tangent we do here. PvPers are kind of getting screwed with this voting system, right? Like, there's a really good Venruki video about this that came out recently, but it does seem really nasty for PvPers to see these votes come up and then see these like conditional or PvE focused set bonuses winning, and the less conditional, often the season 1 set bonuses that are better for PvP just getting smoked in so many of these cases. So I feel bad for PvP focused players. I'm sure there's not too many such players watching this channel, but if you're out there, you know, I empathize. I think it's unfortunate byproduct of doing it this way from Blizzard. So Augmentation, they briefly had season 1 in the vote, and then they removed it. People were voting season 1 to like grief Aug, the theory is. And then for a while, season 2 was winning. And the theory there also is people were voting season 2 to grief Aug. Season 3 is now pulling ahead a little bit. Season 3 is definitely the set bonus that makes the spec much more functional and much more enjoyable. The longer presciences is just like huge quality of life for the spec, especially in Raid, although even in M+, it's just nice to have this. And the Season 2 set bonus did very little. One of the effects is just increasing your own damage under your Ebonmite, and then the other one actually does affect your Ebonmite buffing potential. But either way, this is the set bonus that I think Augs are hoping to win for the most part, so I guess it matters less for M+, which of the two wins, but certainly if you're raiding on Aug, this set bonus is the much more playable one. Dev Evoker, we're having season 2 win. Now this I do think is an example of the... Also, why is there so few EU votes for Dev Evokers? Are there just no Devastation Evokers on the continent of Europe, or has something gone wrong with the poll and has it had to go like get remade or something? I don't know what's happening there. But either way, season 2 is winning in both polls and overall by quite a bit. I think that this one is a case of... I think this is a case of the power. Like, Dev was strong in season 2, and people are voting the season 2 set bonus. But the season 2 set bonus didn't add too much extra play to the spec. Like, it gave you this little bit where you spaced out your empower spells a bit outside of Dragon Rage. And other than that, it was just kind of passive damage. The season 1 set bonus was Lust procs, which I actually think is a cooler set bonus. Again, these takes are often colored by the takes of whatever people who played this spec more seriously talked about in that video with me and Max, so I don't want to pass this off as entirely my own thought, but as somebody who did play a lot of Dev in season 1, mostly in keys and stuff, I did think that set bonus was cool. So I actually think this is a case of the wrong bonuses winning because people are voting based on the season when Dev was strongest, but not a big deal, I don't think. Pres Evoker, another case of people, I think, voting... well, at least the season 1 set bonus here has some game to it, so I think there's some amount of people voting for the season when Pres was the strongest, but also the set bonuses themselves in the later seasons. I don't think it's that bad for the season 1 to win here with the instant cast Living Flames. I think that's a fine... this does feel good, so I'm not surprised that this would actually win, even if people weren't thinking of that, which I do think at least somewhat they are. Hunter. So Hunter, the season 1 Mog is winning. That's very good for me. I have none of that Mog, and I need it. So delighted to see this. Delighted to see the Mog vote going this way for Hunter. The BM set bonus that's winning is Season 3. None of the BM set bonuses really change your playstyle very much. They all just kind of add damn. So Season 3 one winning, I think, is largely a case of people perceiving BM to be the strongest in Season 3. But also, this does, summon pets, and that's kind of the BM thing, so not too surprised there. I think this is definitely a reasonable one to be winning, and there's not one that I'm sad to see losing. Certainly the strongest and most fun set bonus is winning here, the Season 3 set bonus. This is actually a very cool set bonus that it's a shame is so eclipsed right now by BM, because this looks like a lot of fun to play with, and perhaps with some tuning next season, that will be something that old Dratno shots can get up to, is a little bit of gameplay too. And then Serve Season 1 is winning. Now, this is another set bonus that was nerfed coming out of Season 1, and I think it would make sense I think this one makes a lot of sense. The Season 2 set bonus, I think, was incorporated into some of the spec, so that one is one where it probably wouldn't make too much sense to pick. And then the Season 3 and Season 1 are actually very close in the vote right now. If they bring back the power of the Season 1 set bonus, I mean, it's a pretty simple effect, but anytime you're getting something like focus cost reduction on this spec, actually, I guess, would this be annoying in Season 4? Because we're going to have so much haste next season, right? Would this sort of affect... I guess this would still be fine, right? This would still be fun. I think this makes sense. I think this will be a fun set bonus to play with, so... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a survival hunter scientist. I played it a little bit in Season 2, Season 1. One of the seasons. I played a tiny bit of Serve, but I think it was Season 2. But yeah, not enough to really have a good take on these set bonuses. So it is worth noting it's a close vote. So if you are a survival hunter enjoyer, this is one of the cases where your vote may count if you have a take on whether the Season 1 or the Season 3 one is better. Mage. So Mage, the Season 3 tier, is winning by a landslide. Not surprised. This is a very cool, a very loud aesthetic that I think makes sense to be winning. The Arcane set bonus that's winning is the Season 3 set bonus, which my understanding of this one, again, just regurgitating what I've heard about it, my understanding of this one is that it's a little bit annoying what it incentivizes you to do, but it's perhaps less annoying than the, Arcane Surge thing that Season 2 had going on. So, yeah, not surprising, I guess, to see it winning here, but the playstyle, my understanding of it is you're supposed to clip some of your missiles, but then you don't clip the other ones, which whenever that was happening for stuff like Dev Evoker with Disintegrate, people didn't love that. And I think there's a lot of people who don't love that with Arcane currently as well. So maybe something that they could, keep the spirit of the set bonus while changing that. Or maybe there are people who are voting this because they actually do that sort of thing is actually some extra play and skill expression that goes into a rotation, so maybe there are people who do like that. Fire, we have the Season 2 set bonus winning instead. Now, again, some of this may be because this was a season where Fire was plainly unbelievably OP and then settled down to being just very, very, very good. But this is also a pretty fun playstyle, a pretty fun build that existed for Fire at the time. So I played a little bit of Fire in Seasons 2 and 3. Very poorly, I might add. This is a spec that historically I've been just extremely bad at, but I also like the Season 2 set bonus, so cool to see that one winning, I think. Frost, on the other hand, Season 3 is winning. This is one of the ones that the PvPers have the most issue with, I think, the Glacial Spike set bonus, but this is one that's pretty fun in M+ and stuff as well. Glacial Spike, big fun button, so there's some people who love it, some people who don't love it. It looks like the people who love it are outnumbering the people who don't like it by enough that this is almost certainly going to win. So that's the Frost Mage one. Monks, Season 1 is winning. Season 1 Mog is pretty good, actually, I would say. And it's winning by quite a lot here as well. So yeah, not too unhappy with this. This is a cool vibe. I don't know. I like that Mog. The Brewmaster set that's winning is actually the Season 3 set bonus. Now, Brewmaster... I'm not surprised to see Season 1 getting farmed. Season 1 was the Brewmaster's balance thing that you had to maintain with either Spinning Crane Kick or Tiger Palm by making sure you pressed one of those every 15 seconds, which usually you would, but sometimes you wouldn't. Sometimes your rotation wouldn't naturally have you doing that because you're just doing all your other stuff. You're in your cooldowns or whatever. You've got stuff going on. You're having a good time, right? And like it just happens that you didn't have a spot in your rotation to do it, and you had to get like a tracker and make sure that you weren't dropping the stupid debuff. So I'm not surprised to see this one losing. Season 2 versus Season 3, I don't know. I'm not as big a fan of the Season 3 set bonus as other people, but I do think it's fine. It gives you this like self-healing and stagger absorbs, which are two very powerful effects for Brewmaster. So it is, I think, not that surprising to see it doing well. And I think I would vote for this as well. I'm just, more that I don't care about any of the other set bonuses rather than I particularly like this one, but I do think it is probably the most fun of them. Mistweaver, of course, Season 3, just winning in a tremendous landslide. Some of the earlier this is a case of everything lining up properly, where the most fun set bonus is also the set bonus that empowers the most fun parts of the spec, and so we'll be fine, even if they buffed the other ones. And also, this is the season where Mistweaver's good, and also, these set bonuses wouldn't really work with the new version of Mistweaver as much as the new one does, so this is a deserved landslide for Season 3. All is well in the world. The Mistweaver haters have not successfully brigaded the Mistweavers out of their good set bonus, which is good. Windwalker, on the other hand, a very close vote here between the seasons. We have, the Shadowflame Go Nova, we have the Ebon Toes, and then somehow those exciting and wacky set bonuses are actually losing to the Season 1 set bonus. Perhaps because this is the only one that doesn't do some weird, annoying, random damagey thing, and is actually... Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, look at this. In NA, it's really close between Season 1 and Season 2. In EU, the Season 1 vote is enormously higher than the other two seasons. But yeah, it's a boring set bonus, but it doesn't have the annoyances of the other ones. So this is close. This one could still change by the time the votes actually finish getting counted, but I would vote for Season 1, I think, as well. So I'm pretty happy to see it in the lead right now. Between Season 2 and Season 3, I think I prefer the Season 2 set bonus to the Season 3 set bonus. The Season 3 set bonus has these moments in your rotation where you're presented with the opportunity to either lose some damage from one of your procs or from the other proc, and that is always a really bad feeling. Whereas Season 2, it doesn't have that downside, but I don't know. I don't think the Novas are all that cool overall either, and I don't really like the set bonuses that incentivize you to like press single target buttons in AoE if they don't really pay you off for it, and I don't think Season 2 pays you off enough for it. So the Season 1 set bonus, I think, is the least offensive of the three, and I think is the one that should win. Paladin, Season 2 Mog is winning here. Season 2 Mog is pretty cool. Again, I would hope the Season 1 Mog wins, because I actually think the Season 1 Pally Mog is also really cool, but it's much more like, it's like floating stones and stuff around you. But yeah, I think I have all three of these Mogs on this class anyway, so I don't really care that much, I guess. Holy Paladin, so this one is a bit of an M+ versus Raid fight, is my understanding, where the Season 2 one is a pretty fun build for M+ in particular, and the Season 3 one is a pretty fun build for like spread healing in a raid situation, and for getting a nice effect where you're kind of healing a lot of people for a little bit of healing, which can be a really satisfying, especially in the world where we're doing as much overheal as we're doing right now. It can be a really nice way to actually do, effective healing rather than just do more overhealing. So this is the one that like the Holy Paladin in my guild really wants to win, but he only does raid, and I think most Holy Paladins that are M+ focused are instead voting Season 2, and I think Season 2, I think that makes sense that the M+ focused one should probably win for Season 4, because I do think most people, first of all, there's just more M+ers than PvPers, or more M+ers than PvPers, but also more M+ers than Raiders in general, so it makes sense that it would win. But even like almost everybody I know, whatever percentage between Raid and M+, they play the game as, that shifts towards M+ in a Fated season. And I think that this season, we actually don't know what they're going to do to M+ or what they're going to do to Raid, but it's very hard to imagine what they'll do to Raid that would make that not the case. So I think this is probably fair that this is winning here, but Paladin in my guild is not happy about it. Prop Pally. So Prop Pally, Season 1 is actually pulling ahead here. Initially, Season 3 was actually winning for a little while. Season 3 is, I think, the one that has the most obvious power in it, which gives you a damage reduction, but it's tied to your consecration, and that sucks. Paladin already feels pretty tanky inside his consecration usually. Feeling more tanky but more tied to your consecration is not actually a great feeling for the spec. The Season 2 set bonus is a lot of damage. It's the one that could most obviously be used to be, like, if it's tuned to be fair, most of the power would land in the damage compared to the other ones. That one's just the Heartfire dot and hot, and also extra Grand Crusader procs, which is, powerful, especially for raid padding. And then the Season 1 set bonus actually is, I think, this is the one that I also am a voter for, because I don't like the Season 2 set bonus. It doesn't really help make you tankier in content where you care about being tanky, which for me, even the M plus that I do, I like to, if you're up to doing high keys, which I'm not yet this season, but the last few seasons I've done title pushes, and I probably will again this season. And when you start getting to that level, I much prefer a set bonus that makes me tanky versus something that's like heal over time. That's a very little increase to your defensive survivability, but I also don't want this consecration garbage. I hate it. So that for that reason, Season 1 kind of by process of elimination wins, despite the fact that it's really not an exciting set bonus or anything. It does at least it gives you and your closest ally some verse, and also you get some extra parry percent, which, yeah, it's actually pretty good in M+. Parry works out pretty nicely in M+. So, yeah, I'm not, I don't know. This one is more a case of, like, I'm really disappointed what they did with Pally in Season 2 and 3, leading me to choose basically to abstain rather than to vote for a real set bonus, because I think the real set bonuses are just worse than the boring Season 1 set bonus. Rep Pally, on the other hand, Season 3 is winning by a small amount over Season 2. I have not played any Rep Pally this season, nor do I even really remember what the Rep Pallies were saying about any of this stuff. So I don't want to talk at all about whether Season 3 or Season 2 should win, but I do want to alert any Rep Pallies out there that it's actually kind of a close vote. So if you have an opinion about whether Season 2 or Season 3 is better, and you haven't yet voted, I'd recommend going and casting your vote, because it does look like it's going to end up being pretty close. But yeah, sorry, I actually just, for the life of me, I can't even remember what the Season 2 set bonus did, or which ones the M+ers or the PvPers liked, or any of that kind of stuff. So I don't want to spread any more misinformation than I probably already accidentally have, talking about some of the specs that I have medium knowledge of. All right, Priest Season 2. Yeah, not surprised to see the Season 2 Mog winning, especially this second one here is just such a, like, this Mog and the purple Mog for the Shadow Priest. These Mogs are like, these are some iconic Priest transmogs. Not surprised to see Priest wanting a second shot at that. Although, interestingly, this was the season where Priest was at its best, so this is also probably the Mog the most people already have, but it's okay. I still think this one, I'm not surprised to see this one winning. This one's the best Mog by far. Disc Priest Season 3 is winning here, which is the Smite Penance extra damage, Smite Extending Atonement, and Smite getting you extra casts during your Shadow Covenants, which, yeah, this is a fun, it's fun raid focused, but also works in M+. Also has value there. The Season 2 set bonus, I remember also, again, I don't know much about Disc. I don't know all that much about Disc. Season 2 was the free Radiances, though, right? That was the one that had those, which I think is also a pretty fun effect. And then the Season 1 one was a weird one that kind of incentivized an alternating damage shield rotation, which is kind of antithetic. It turns out, to an outside observer like myself, that looks like a fun thing for Disc to do, but Disc priests themselves generally tend to either be casting the shield or casting the damage buttons, right? That's kind of the way their ramp works out. So yeah, not surprised to see that one not winning. It looks like Season 3 is winning over Season 2 by a sizable amount. I'm not educated enough to have a take about whether that's good or bad. Holy Priest, on the other hand, a very close race here between Seasons 2 and 3. Season 3 is winning, which is the Serenity applying Renew, Sanctify applying Renew, and Renew having a chance to not consume charges and cost less mana on your Holy Words. So a very powerful little throughput focused, hots and procs and stuff, and sort of positive feedback loop between your holy words and your renews. That one's winning. The season 2 set bonus was really broken when it was first being tested. That set bonus got nerfed, I think, during PTR. I don't remember if it also got nerfed once it actually came out. So I wonder if this is a case where maybe this would be a pretty fun one if it was like buffed back up, which maybe it would be if it won. I don't know. I'm not a Holy Priest scientist. Shadow Priest Season 2 is winning by a landslide here. Now, again, this may be a case of the set bonus from when the spec was strong winning, but I'm actually I'm not shocked to see this one doing well here either, because this one has the focus on like shadowy apparitions, increasing the damage of those, which are always, the Shadow Priests love those. They love those goofy little guys. So yeah, that one, again, this vote's not going to be close. This thing is basically guaranteed to win at this point. Rogue, the Season 2 Mog, is winning. Okay. Again, selfishly, I'd prefer the Season 1 Mog to win. The Season 2 Mog is definitely pretty cool. I actually especially like this red Mog here, which I'm a little worried that looks like PvP colors, but I don't know. I don't know if they've shuffled these around, because yeah, usually I thought they had the PvP ones over on the right, but it looks like maybe they're just kind of copied and pasted in haphazardly. And that one definitely does look the coolest, but I bet that's the Elite PvP one. Okay, Sin Rogue, we are having Season 3 winning. No surprise there. Outlaw Season 3 is winning, and Sub Season 3 is winning. None of these votes are particularly close. And in all three cases here for Rogue, the Season 3 set bonuses are just kind of, they're better. They were designed after the specs were reworked, and I think it's pretty clear that is the case, that these are these are, like, I mean, if you compare the Outlaw ones, right, these rolled, you got Sinister Strike has a 10% chance, an additional 10% chance of striking additional time, which actually keys into like 6 different talents in the Outlaw tree, and then Roll the Bones additionally, refreshing a random Roll the Bones buff you already have. Like, these are just so much gas compared to Season 2, which is like, Soul Rip is a dot that all your abilities apply, and when you between the eyes, it does some extra damage. Like, this you feel these effects, and you will never feel the Season 2 effect. And similarly here, the Sin and the Sub bonuses, like the Season 3 ones, are just super cool, right? Like, you're getting extra combo points here. And Venom is, I guess this is these are just damage procs on the 4-piece. But the 2-piece does give you attack speed, which I guess you do feel that a little bit on that spec. So yeah, not surprised to see these votes going for the Season 3 set bonuses, kind of, I wouldn't say overwhelmingly across the board, but this one is at least overwhelming. This one is pretty convincing, although it still could change. I guess there's some support for the Season 2 set bonus. Shaman, the Season 3 Mog, is winning here. Again, no complaints there. This Mog is definitely the coolest, although Season 1 is putting up a valiant effort. But yeah, this Mog is the Ghost Wolves on the sides are just really, really good. So that's a good Mog. The Ellie Shaman. So Ellie Shaman, this is a really interesting fight. Season 3 is winning, and Season 3 is like the Lava build set bonus, whereas Season 2 is the Lightning build set bonus, with the free Stormkeepers and the extra damage on your Earthquakes and stuff. Completely different talent builds supported by the 2 different set bonuses that really just play very differently from each other. And I think that's really cool. And it's a shame that we're only going to have one. And it's a shame that, like, this is a case of whichever one wins, there will be people who are genuinely sad that the other one didn't. And, you know, I empathize. I personally, so historically, the build supported by Season 3 is the more standard Ellie Shaman build. And the one that was played in Season 2, the Lightning build, kind of only ever has been played in that one season. You know, foregoing stuff like Lava Burst and Flame Shock synergies, and instead just spamming Chain Lightnings and Earthquakes and stuff, which, I don't know. I hope that this is a supported build going forward, a build that does get more set bonuses and support and stuff, and is something that can be played by LA Shaman and can be close to good in the future as well. Or they make more set bonuses that are kind of agnostic between the 2 builds, so you can actually play the Lightning build. But I do think that this bonus is more fun than the Season 2 set bonus, and I do still enjoy the Lava build, I think, more than the Lightning build. I've played only a little bit of LA Shaman in each of these seasons, though, so again, take my words with a grain of salt on the spec. Enhancement, this one's not close. Season 3 is winning by a lot, and Season 3 is the set bonus that everybody loves. So that doesn't surprise me. This kind of sets you up with the little burst windows here and there, which they're really enjoying that playstyle this season. So yeah, a cool set bonus, winning by a lot. All is well in the world. Resto Shaman. So Resto Shaman is a very close vote between all three. Currently winning is Season 1, which gives you extra value whenever your Healing Stream or Cloudburst totem is active, and the four piece is just extra crit healing effectiveness, right? Which is an interesting stat. There's actually several of the Season 1 set bonuses have this kind of text on them, which is interesting. We're going to see another one of them with Warlock soon. But yeah, I think this one makes some sense, right? The other season bonuses are a little bit more clunky. This one's weird because there are, the Resto Shamans that play Cloudburst, that's often like the best build, but it's often this is one of those talents that people outside of that top echelon really end up not liking because it's kind of clunky and gamey, and they'll instead not be using it. But this set bonus certainly synergizes best with Cloudburst because obviously then you care more about your healing while it's active, whereas with Healing Stream Totem you probably kind of want the extra crit chance when the Healing Stream Totem is not down even, to kind of help you be more smoothed out with your healing. But yeah, either way, I'm not surprised to see this set bonus doing pretty well here. Very close vote though, so if you're a Resto Shaman who cares, go vote. It's a close vote. Warlocks. So Warlocks, the Season 2 Mog is winning. It's a cool Mog. I respect it. Season 1's putting up a good fight. Fingers crossed Season 1 pulls out a upset in the end. But Season 2, yeah, that one looks good. Especially, dude, this far right one looks so good. Okay, Aflock. Season 3 is winning here, which this one is very strong in AoE. The spec in general needs some love on single target though. Wow. And the set bonus will certainly, I don't know. Maybe they could move some more. Like they could just amp up this % here of how much it'll buff your Malefic Rapture, instead of your Seed or something. I don't know. But yeah, this spec needs some help on single target for sure. It's a fun set bonus though, so I'm not surprised to see this one winning. Demo Season 3 is winning by a lot, which also makes sense here. It's weird because this set bonus does a lot of stuff wrong. It's in combination with some of the other stuff that Demo uses this season have turned them into like a crit verse spec instead of a haste mastery spec, which is so weird for Warlocks. But the old set bonuses like the Season 2 stuff, in a world of after Demo got a lot of changes coming into this season, a lot of stuff that took power out of its ramp, and have kind of moved it to be more of a consistent damage dealer. And these old set bonuses, especially the Season 2 set bonus that indexed a lot of power into the ramp, would be a lot less. It wouldn't feel like Season 2 Demo, even if they got the Season 2 set bonus back. So it looks like Demo Locks have correctly identified that and are instead voting for their Season 3 set bonus, which is smart. I think this is probably the correct vote for the spec. All right, Destro Lock is Season 1 is winning here. Now this is another case like Prop Pally, where it's not that Season 1 is a particularly fun set bonus like it is for, say, Balance Druid. It's just a case of like Season 2 wants you to play Channel Demon Fire. Season 3 wants you to play Dimensional Rift. And a lot of Warlocks just don't want to have to do that. So they are instead voting for the Season 1 set bonus, which doesn't do much. It just, like, you just get Chaos Maelstrom when you consume Soul Shards, which you always do. So you actually get extra crit chance and you get extra crit damage, right? It's basically just flat damage. Very boring set bonus, but at least you don't have to play these talents. So yeah, this one I would also see as a failure from Blizzard, right? Like compared to the Ellie Shaman one, where Ellie Shaman Season 2 and Season 3 are like, wow, we empower these different builds in different ways, these different talent builds in different ways, and people are choosing between the two of them because there's a set that loves Season 2 and a set that loves Season 3. Whereas for Destro, the amount of people that just hate both the Season 2 and Season 3 set bonuses is higher than the amount of people that love them, and they're just voting for neither, please. We want to go home. We have had enough of this. So yeah, that's That's rough for the old Destro Lock players. But I mean, I guess it's good. They'll get to play. They'll get to play there. They will get to not have to play Channel Demon Fire or Dimensional Rift next season. So congratulations. Warrior season 2 Mog is winning. It's good Mog. I like it. I have all the season 1 Mog on my Warrior because that was my main that season. So this one is one where I don't care too much about which of them wins. If anything, I actually need the season 3 Mog the most, but I think it does look the worst. So fair enough. Arms Warrior is a very, very close race, actually, between the Season 3 and Season 1 set bonuses. So this might be the closest race we have so far going on between the two. If you're an Arms Warrior and you care about this, do go cast your vote. It looks like the Americans are preferring Season 3 and are currently winning, and the Europeans are slightly preferring the Season 1 set bonus. So that is very interesting. I'm certainly not educated enough on Arms Warrior to actually give a take about this one. So again, if you are an Arms Warrior and you do care about this, go vote. It's very close. Fury Warrior Season 3. Wow, Fury Warrior's got a lot of votes. This is a popular spec. Fury Warrior, the Season 3 set bonus, is winning here, which is also by a pretty small amount over Season 2, but it is winning by quite a bit here. And the Season 1 is getting farmed here. Which of these has the Season 1 that is the more sudden death procs? I think that's the Fury Season 1. I always kind of liked that one in theory, but yeah, it does look like Season 3. It looks like nobody's voting Season 1 for Fury. That's all either Season 2 or 3. Yeah, I'm remembering vaguely some of there's a build you play with this that's like, you don't play Raging Blow or something? I don't know. Is that true? I could be lying. I could be... There's some weird build where you like don't play a button you usually played. I think that's a Season 3 special and not a Season 2 special as well. But yeah, very close vote here. I don't know. I should speak less about specs that I don't know anything about. But yeah, there it is. I used to play a lot of DPS Warrior as well. I should play some more of them, but my Warrior has pretty much exclusively been Prot this whole expansion. Prot Season 3 is winning. Now, Season 3 has some good stuff going for it. I personally am not an enjoyer of this set bonus. Season 2 was a very weird set bonus, which was built around Last Stand, and it put a lot of power. It gave you, like, damage on Shield Slam, and it gave you AoE damage after your Last Stand was up, which was weird, but kind of cool. But very weird. And sort of like the Bear Season 3 set bonus, that effect is just not generally going to be very good for Warrior or for tanks. Anything that's like, hey, I give you this neat buff after your defensive cooldown is up, it's just like, that. Do you want me to just press on cooldown then so that I can get the full uptime of this? But then I'm kind of giving up value on my defensive being used when I want it defensively, because now I'm using it for offense. Or instead, am I losing value by just not pressing it enough at all? That's an unfortunate spot to be in. Season 1 set bonus is very boring. That one's just like, you do extra damage, and you take less damage. Whereas Season 3 is winning by only a small amount, and this one has this weird like bleed consumption effect. You consume your bleeds, doing basically extra damage, and giving you a damage reduction every time you do this. And even though it only deals 40% of the remaining damage of Deep Wounds and Rend, you can instantly reapply those, so you do get extra damage out of that, and you also get 100% of the Thunderous Roar's damage too. And then you also get even more damage reduction, and you also get reset of Thunderclap, which then lets you immediately reapply your next Rend, and the cooldown of Thunderous Roar is reduced by 3 seconds as well, so you can do more Thunderous Roars too. So it does sort of create this playstyle of, like clap, slam, clap, slam if you're proccing. And you also get more Thunderous Roars out of this. I don't know. I kind of find it weird and annoying, and I think this would be a case of I would vote for Season 1 over this. But I don't care about this that much. I think this is a fine set bonus as well. It's just like slightly weird. It's certainly powerful, right? Like this is more powerful than the Season 1 set bonus. It's a bigger damage taken % reduction, but that's the kind of thing that they said they were going to balance, I think. Like or if they don't balance that, then I don't know what they're doing, right? Like that's those sort of percentages being different between the set bonuses, I think, is one of the things that they would balance even if they do a very bad job of following through with their promise to balance whichever one wins. Anyways, that is a look at the state of democracy as it stands right now. Go vote if you have things that you care about. Don't go vote for specs that you don't care about or specs that you just hate and you're griefing them. That would be messed up. Do go vote for transmogs that you want. Consider voting for the transmogs that I want as well, because I need some of these mogs. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll link the full video with me and Max and the community and stuff if you want to go and see what some people who actually play these specs think and hear people give me good ideas that I have since regurgitated in this video in some cases. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.